In response to the observation from this individual that he didn't see the value in these questions and didn't understand how it all pertained to everything, I thought, well, am I not remembering things accurately? Because it seems to me I'm getting a heck of a lot less information in the budget documents than I used to get. So I went to the library and pulled the debates for health, which is a big ministry, but it's also a consistent ministry. It hasn't disappeared and reappeared. For example, you know, those of us that have been here long enough know that Consumer and Corporate Affairs is actually the purpose of it, and the legislative responsibilities are now under Service Alberta. But if you were trying to compare the Consumer and Corporate Affairs budget, you'd be hard-pressed to do it. Another example that's education got grouped in with advanced ed and then taken apart again. Culture, near and dear to my heart, completely disappeared when it got taken into community development, along with seniors and gambling and ADAC and a whole bunch of other, and horse racing and a whole bunch of other things. So health was a department that was health in 1985, it was health in 1995, it was health in 2005, and it's health today. And as I started to compare these, I thought, no, I am right. There was significantly more information available about where the money was going, how it was being broken down, how many FTEs there were, how they, way back when it even said how they were distributed, like each program, how many staff worked there. And these are some of the questions that I now find myself saying, well, what are these programs that are funded under this one line item? How many people work there? Where do we, well, you can find out where the FTEs are if you go to a completely different set of books, and it's in the back of the government business plan. You can actually get a listing of the FTEs by department, but not broken down by program. So if you want to know how many people are actually working in a particular program, if you happen to know what the program is, because believe you me, you're not going to get out of these budget documents. We have such a roll-up now that it's, you know, in some of the departments you're getting maybe 10 breakdowns, and that's it. Well, actually, in health, you've got $9 million in one line item. No explanation. $9 million. Billion. Sorry. With a B. No, I'm absolutely serious. Vote in this budget document on page 235 for anyone following along at home. Vote number 8.0.1, base operating funding for Alberta Health Services, $9,037,593,000. That's it. No explanation of how that breaks down. I don't know how many people that covers. I don't know what programs or services are delivered under that $9 billion. It's $9 billion in one line item. So, back to the nice young man that came over and said, well, if we could just come up with, 5 questions that we'd like to write down, he could make sure that they would get answered for us, which rather made our staff giggle that thought that we would only have 5 questions. But this is what we're now trying to deal with. So we're a lot more money in the budget, more departments, less time to debate it, less information in the budget. So do I really want to be standing up there and begging a minister to tell me, what the programs are that are funded under this particular line item, how many people are working there, and all of the other kind of really plain factual information that there's nothing nefarious there. There's no tricky questions there. I'm not going to be able to jump out and sucker punch somebody based on giving me some very straightforward information from from breaking down some programs into a number of different line items. There's nothing tricky there, but for some reason there's a big conspiracy theory here that we've got to hide all this information and roll it up and roll it up and roll it up in line items until I'm sure the government would be delighted if they could manage to come forward with a budget that had one line item in it, was the whole damn budget, and that's it. Thank you very much. Go home. So what's the effect of this budget? The effect of this budget is that we are able to show Albertans less and less information every single year. They're able to access these documents and glean less and less and less information every single year. You can also roll into this the supplementary supply budgets. Now, this will be very interesting to see in this budget year of 2010-11 if there actually is a supplementary supply budget. Boy, that'll tell us some stuff. But in the past, you know, as this House has often heard me debate, we've had 2 supplementary supply budgets. Has been very common, with over $1 billion allocated in those. That's $2 billion extra a year. And for that, we get a whole 3-hour afternoon to debate it.